Thanks, Robert. The question is to both or all of you. You talked about the process of defining what's important, and that can sometimes be uncomfortable or difficult when you're talking about money, etc., etc. What are some of the things that you've all seen that have worked for your clients, your families, that have enabled you to come to those, the answers to those questions about, you know, what's important about why you're creating wealth?
Yeah, sure. Look, one of the things that I've seen, certainly with the intergenerational wealth, the family values is absolutely paramount. It really is. It's a shared view, a shared vision, a shared direction in the family for everything, not just the money. And the money isn't lauded over people in order to get them to behave in a certain way. That's generally ends up as a disaster. Allowing people the freedom to pursue their interests rather than pursuing the family interest. Look, examples of that would be the Smorgans, for example, who broke up all their businesses and then passed it on down, and then got involved in a whole range of things, but gave the kids their own things. The Lowies, I think, are probably going through it at the moment, where they've sold the shopping centres and are now saying, all right, well, we're going to go off in different directions and we're going to start doing different things. It's that freedom of expression within the family that allows everybody to pursue their interests, kind of without fear or favour, within the discipline and the family values that are set in place. That's the thing that I've taken from the observance of what I would call success. So I think what Andrew was saying before, it's more than the money, it's the values that is shared amongst the family. And that's about having those dialogues. It's about, I always say, it starts at the dinner table, you know? No mobile phones at the dinner table. You sit and have a conversation and you share your values and your ideas and that sort of stuff. And so having a mechanism for that, and we saw with the Rockefellers, with their family gatherings, or as Andrew said, just getting together, and whether that's on holidays or in a more structured format of quarterly meetings and stuff, that I think is critical to success. That's how families should operate.
Adam, one of the things that we see is this conversation typically begins when there's some sort of milestone or some sort of event, which sometimes can be too late. So I think to Andrew and Tony's point, and you listen to the likes of David Rockefeller when he's interviewed by magazines and whatnot, they go right back. I mean, I think we do a lot of these things. We action what we believe and our values, and I think we instill that maybe subconsciously, but I think the point is to try and do that in a more, not formal way, but do it consciously and have those discussions much earlier, rather than waiting for some of these events to occur. And sometimes, your children's 30, 35, or whatever the age they may be, and they've had so many years of sort of forming their own points of view on things, and maybe some guidance earlier on could have gone a long way.
Yeah, and I'd just add on that, Adam, but also I'm sure there's things you do. Sometimes to find an example of what you already do as a family, you love talking about the footy. Okay, great. So we're going to do that, and we do that every Monday. Well, we've actually already got a forum set up. We're just going to change the topic for once. So I think we sometimes should look at the examples that we see within our family units and find that we already have the tools. It's just, we're going to use the tools slightly differently this time.